Yeah.
Take two.
Take two. I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Oh. Sorry. You always laugh at me when I try to do this. Hello everybody and welcome to Nathan on Shuffle and to our latest episode of Prog Song Sunday. I've got Jana with me.
Hi.
And this is the show where we listen to prog song together. We're doing slightly different format. We're actually picking out the song ourselves rather than doing a shuffle, and I'm picking an album-long side. We're going to basically pick certain albums that I feel like are better listened to in their complete version, because we often pick out songs in our shuffle that are part of bigger concept albums, and people always say in the comments like, oh, you should have listened to this as the full album. You're not getting the context of this piece within the entire work. It's like pulling out a random scene of a movie without any context of what the movie's about. So I thought, why not do album sides and cover some of these concept albums the way they're intended to be heard, I think. So today we're going to cover Jon Anderson's Olias of Sunhillow, because Jon Anderson had a recent solo album come out that people are pretty excited about. So I thought, why not go back to like one of his like most important releases in his catalog. So
what year is this from?
This is from, you're always doing this to me, 76 according to my notes there.
Okay.
So this, what's kind of interesting is that this basically, Yes kind of took a little bit of a break, and each of the different Yes members did a solo album during this period of time. So this was Jon Anderson's. There's also one from Chris Squire, one from Steve Howe, I believe from Alan White as well, and Patrick Moraz, I think, was maybe with him at the time. Maybe Rick Wakeman, I guess he's done a lot of solo albums. So, but yeah, it was kind of a cool thing to see their individual ideas on their own solo records. And I do have the vinyl here. I guess I should showcase it.
Ooh, pretty.
Yeah, this was from like a record store day, I think, a few years ago. And it's a cool package. Some cool artwork. It's actually kind of like
It's got a book
storybook.
inside.
Yeah. There's like a real narrative that was written for the storyline.
These aren't the lyrics?
No, they're not the lyrics. It's just like the story written out of what, the music's based upon.
Very beautiful. Look at that.
Yeah, there's a lot of really neat artwork, and it's just done in kind of an old-fashioned, like, fantasy font. Yeah.
I will need to look at the font a little later, but
yeah.
Look at it. It's so pretty.
And what's also cool is Jon Anderson totally did all of the music himself. Like, he plays all the instruments, and it's totally, like, his concept, his world. And so I think
I'm really impressed by people who like do all the parts to the music.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's really cool, because not only like you can be this virtuoso singer, but you're also a really cool musician who plays a lot of instruments.
Yeah, it's really cool. And so I think it's, he's not really a virtuoso on any particular instrument. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's all about that. It's not about like flashy playing and impressive like time signatures and stuff. It's more about kind of the vibe and the atmosphere and the beauty behind it and the storytelling. But it's cool that he's created this kind of musical world himself, and so we should listen in.
Let's do it.
All right. So this is the first side we're listening to now. We'll listen to the second side on a future episode. Mm-hmm. This side's about 22 minutes long.
That's a lot.
So we'll see how you're able to get through it. All right, we'll start with Ocean Song, which is a bit of a instrumental introduction.
These are weird titles.
Yeah. A lot of fantasy names and stuff. All right.
Light of the Moorglade.
Yeah.
All right. I know what that is.
So here we go with Ocean Song.
Something's coming.
of the praises of love, and his one hand raised high in the dark. Total relating, appointed close factors of what we regard as the answer lies there, and his one hand raised high in the dark. There stands Olias to outward to build a ship, holding within all we hope to retain. The frame will be so built to challenge the universe, glassed with the skins of the fish of the plain. Master volcano, running with the pleasure, sing to the power, we will sail to the east, and all hands shall rise to the call. Rightly attained as your view. So sound out the guardian to travel, to cross the space between pastures that's rightly attained. So stands the blinder, expectant as one dear companion can utter the right pitch. To say sun will shine over you. Strong roots regain the prey from the depths of Sunhillow. Ride on, Olias, remember your beacon. So where we dance and play, the silence will body. Olias, remember your legend. Legend.
That's side
That's
one.
the end?
That's the end for now. Part one.
Wow.
Do you have some thoughts?
I have thoughts. And I have all good thoughts.
Oh. You really liked it.
Yeah. I really, really liked that. I thought that was just a beautiful, good listen. Yeah. It was just a good time, like, for me. Like, it was just really, I mean, I know I have talked about that I like heavy metal and I like a heavier sound.
Right.
But I also love, like, the singer-songwriter. Like, I love that more. Yeah. And so whenever I have a good opportunity to listen to, or there's a piece of music that kind of fits in that mold, which this, has its own unique, twist on it, Like, sure. I think there's a note that I wrote somewhere that said, oh, there's the prog, like.
Yeah.
It was just, it hit me in the right spot. It was beautiful. Nice. I'm going to go through some of my notes. I have a notebook. I have a new music notebook. So here we go. What was the first song called? Meeting.
Ocean Song or
the second one?
Oh, Meeting Garden of Gita.
Garden of Gita.
Something like that.
Garden of Gita.
And I apologize, I don't quite know how to pronounce all the different names and stuff, so
that's okay.
Those Olias of Sunhillow devotees can correct me in the comments, I suppose.
We do our best. It's okay.
Yeah.
We'll be all right. So it started out with that like low rumble, like something's coming.
Yeah.
And like a space shuttle's about to take off, or there's like a truck coming down the road, like in the distance you hear it. And so that first little song, Ocean Song, it's got these guitar pluckings, and like it just really set, I think, the mood for the I say the album, but I've only heard half of it. But for the album,
yeah.
I feel like it really set the mood. It's got a good like atmospheric. It set that atmospheric tone, and it was very relaxing to me.
Sure.
And I was like, man, I could be at a spa. Like, I need to book a massage soon. Like, that's what I thought. Like, it just sounded so relaxing and so like comforting, you know. So,
sure.
Then we went into the second song, and they added in the singers, like the voices that are throughout the album, like through the side of the album that I've heard. Like there's these ethereal like singers. I don't know what language they were singing, and the lyrics are like in a different language.
Yeah, could be even a made up like fantasy type language, but I'm not sure either. We
don't know, so we apologize if we're saying your language sounds made up. So I thought that it really like added to that atmospheric sound. And then in starts like the tambourine and like the beat, you know, the first time that there's like a beat in the album, and it was still kind of that singer-songwriter. I wrote hippie vibe.
Yeah.
You know, didn't you say Jon Anderson was a hippie?
Yeah.
Right?
I said, early off camera. I don't think I said it on the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, no, it's cool. He's a hippie. I'm like, all right, cool. I wrote a nice folksy sound.
Yeah.
So, and so I really liked it. I thought it fit well with the journey that we're taking with the atmospheric, ethereal, you know, into like this little hippie folksy song, and it was cool. So, do you have comments up until this point? I'm just gonna keep going. So.
Yeah, I have some overall kind of comments, but yeah, I for me a lot of this piece is more about like kind of the atmosphere and the vibes, and I think that is perfectly shown in that first track and how it just kind of brings that kind of atmosphere, because that to me is the highlight of this release, because there's not a lot of virtuoso playing that I'm used to, you know, that I favor in progressive rock. So it's a bit more lighter, a bit like more atmospheric, and more about the textures and about like the world that you're inhabiting as you're listening to this, and kind of entering into Jon Anderson's kind of imagination and his vibe and his persona. And so it's cool to kind of take out one element of Yes and kind of see more a deep dive into this one facet of Yes's sound that Jon Anderson brings to the table. So that's kind of my impressions, but yeah, we can keep going.
Cool. Then Dance of Renyart. Renyart. I thought that sounds like a Dance of Dragons. What's the dragon show?
Game of Thrones?
Thrones.
Oh yeah, House of the Dragons.
How they're all like... I can't even think of their names now, but like they're all the same names in these weird names.
Yeah.
But that
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra, yeah.
Sorry.
I'm like, that's like what I was, right? What is this? A character from the Dragon Show? Because anyway. Yeah. That's free association right there. So nothing to do with it. I did know that there was like a little bit of like Asian-y sounding influences, that, and in the next song too, the same kind of like that. Yeah. Those sounds, you know. So
I think he's definitely influenced by different cultures in different parts of the world, so I think that definitely and then comes through.
The next one, it almost sounded like an island sound when the drums like come in and in Quoquac and Transit.
Right.
Anyway, but the one that in the dance of Reinhardt,
Sure. Sorry.
There's like a computer sound that comes in, like computer is taking. I'm like, oh, that's the point. There's the prog. Like that's
there's
what
a little progginess.
That's the progginess. And it was at that moment that I realized I should be trying to like clue into the lyrics, like and what they mean. Like I was following lyrics, but like that. He got on a ship, and they're traveling, and to remember like, you know, your history as you go on this journey. That's kind of what I was picking up from it.
Yeah.
And then that fourth song, Quo Quack and Transic.
Okay.
Continued the ethereal sound. I wrote light and bright, and I'm not sure bright is the right word, but it felt light to me. It felt like comforting. It felt just really like it felt really cool. Then that's where like the island, like the drums started, and like
a lot of interesting like percussion,
chanting, and like that was, I think, really, really cool. I wrote Voices of Angels. Like I felt like this is like where they're on a journey, and it's leading on this huge journey, and these voices are coming through, and they're supporting your journey, and they're helping you, and it's like these people are singing and giving you this atmospheric sound and through their support, and it just felt like it was giving a bigger meaning to it, you know. And maybe I didn't catch the bigger meaning on the first one, but I felt it. And then the last one, I thought that it was just beautiful harmonies, great sound.
Yeah.
And then I did note the lyrics, like, world of life, rejoice the sunlight. Yeah. Great poetry. That's great poetry. You know, we need to rejoice in the sunlight. And then I wrote climb into the dark sky, which is another piece of the lyric. And I feel like that means, like, taking your light into somewhere dark to make it better. You know? Yeah. That's what I got.
That's very nice.
But anyway, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I would. I wasn't sure what I expected, but it makes sense to me that I would like it because I like Yes.
Yeah,
I like Yes. I like Jon Anderson's sound, and I think that this was just a great like sample of his musicality, and the fact that he did all of the parts, like that's amazing, because there's a lot to it. Did he do all the singing parts too?
I think he may have. I mean, we could get like a expert in here to talk more about that, but
one day I want to sing myself in a round. That'd be kind of cool.
But yeah, according to online, that seems to be like
he did everything.
He did all the vocals.
That's so cool because there's so many great vocals, and they were all in different words. I didn't know what they meant. Another callback to Game of Thrones when they were singing Arya over and over. Which, you know, well before Game of Thrones. But anyway, but I really enjoyed that. I thought that it was just a nice, like, positive experience listening to that.
Yeah.
So
totally agree. I was probably thrown off when I first heard this, like, originally before, you know, I've heard most of these songs before we react to them. Where I expected it to be more of that, like, classic Yes sound, but I had to get used to that it's not going to have the same, like, rock feel, not going to have that Chris Squire bass and the, like, cool keys and all that kind of stuff. It's really separate from that. It's more atmospheric. It's more almost new age style. It, you know, you have to get lost in this kind of world that's being crafted and created here. And so it's more about the world building, about the sound design that Jon Anderson's bringing to the table by taking all these different interesting instruments that are from like different cultures, from different parts of the world, and using it to create this really interesting fantasy landscape with his, you know, positive ideals kind of coming to the forefront. That's why it feels so like you said, light and positive and, you know, very uplifting in some fashion. And I think it's really beautiful for what it is. And so I'm growing to love it. It's a beautiful record.
Beautiful. That's a great word for it. It's just beautiful.
And we'll definitely cover the second half of the record. There's still more to come. It might be a few weeks down the line in a different recording session after a couple other videos. But we'll get
We'll
to
get
it.
there.
So hopefully you'll watch that as well if you've made it this far into this one. I'm guessing you're a fan of this album. But thank you guys for joining us and for all of your comments. You know, if you leave comments or like the videos, subscribe, would be much appreciated. We really love the community and the support that we have for these episodes. So thank you guys so much, and we'll hopefully catch you in the future episode. Bye. Enjoy the music, everybody.
Bye.